morning, Sri Lanka. Welcome back to the show. You're here with me, Amaya, and Jason is here as well. Now, we've been speaking to a man who has published a very interesting book, and that is The Rich List 2013 of Sri Lanka. Mr. Faraz Shokatali is on the show with us once again. Welcome back to this segment as well, sir.
Thank you.
And we were speaking earlier about some of the lists that are featured in your book. Now, you've compiled several of them.
Yes.
And let's talk about one of your favorites to speak about.
Yes, why don't we look at the Super 15 billionaires.
That's right. And
Super
this is not
15
pre-planned.
billionaires.
I'm actually
So we're giving
right
you a
on
sneak peek into the Rich List 2013 right here on Good Morning Sri Lanka. So what will we find on this list?
maybe the camera should zoom in.
Well, we find right there, the richest man is Mr. Damika Pereira, who's a businessman with... we place his fortune at a minimum of $538 million,
I see.
or 70 billion rupees. It's followed by Mr. Soli Captain.
Yep, that's right.
I think his value is about
423
million.
And again, this is a gentleman who's built up such a great conglomerate here in Sri Lanka.
Yes, he's the single largest investor on one of the largest blue chip companies in this country of Sri Lankan origin. And thirdly, we have a man who I think the whole of Sri Lanka would probably bet as being the richest man. But our book is
saying otherwise.
Is saying otherwise.
Okay.
I see.
And
Putting the rumors to rest.
It is, because the sort of the subtitle of the book is Financial Myths Unraveled.
Yeah.
And but we're happy to say that Mr. Harry Jayawardena is number 3. He's about $307 million. And then we have Mr. Muzaffar Ali Yassin. We have Jayanta Dharmadasa and Upali Dharmadasa.
Most of you might know them as the children of the famous...
the very iconic businessman Navaloka Mudalali.
Yeah.
His career is a story and deserves a book all on its own anyway.
That is true.
But it does have its place in your book.
It does.
Right here.
It has a place in a very special place in my book, because I believe he's been a huge inspiration to this country.
So that was a sneak peek into your publication. Now, if any of you do want to see what else is in this book, it's very interesting.
Go get yourself the book.
Yes,
that's what we're
recommending. It's available at all leading retail bookstores here in Sri Lanka. But now, that's sneak peek. But when you analyze these businessmen and you look at the steps they've taken in building up their enterprises, what across the board, do you find any common features or anything in particular that stands out in all of them?
I find that what is the most amazing part of this thing is that most of these people made their money during the war years.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That to me is absolutely amazing. They did so, and it shows
at the time when Sri Lanka was considered to be in economic turmoil.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it highlights to me the resilience of the Sri Lankan.
Definitely.
They've got quite adept at living with the war but carrying on.
Yeah.
So it's about time we had peace, really, and so again it's a celebration. But yes, that's the dominant feature. They didn't just curl up and die. You know, they got there and they faced the flag and carried on.
Definitely. And you mentioned earlier in a break as well that when you look at it in that point of view, then you sort of wonder where Sri Lanka could have been if the war didn't exist at all.
I've often wondered what would it have been.
Yeah.
And in a way, personally, I found it very annoying, this war, because people of our age, we've lived literally the best part of our adult lives with this war atmosphere. And so it's time to move on, really,
Definitely. And the great step is to celebrate the wealth of the people who have
There's
shown.
absolutely nothing wrong with wealth.
Because this will definitely inspire the younger generation, saying, hey, look, because when I first read this, I was like, no way that Sri Lanka could actually live up to that much. Like, you could be that rich, but it would actually inspire a lot of younger kids in school, or people actually, like, new entrepreneurs to actually, you know, dream bigger.
Definitely. And what's the on that note, what's the feedback that you've got on the book from people who've seen it? And
Absolutely marvelous. We had a young lady, I think she's about 20, 21 maybe, if that, who went out on a social media platform, tried a competition to win an invitation to our launch.
Right.
Okay.
She lost, but she did a lot of research, got hold of my telephone number, called me and said, hey, look, I really want to come, but I lost, but I want to come. I asked her how she found my number, so she just told me that she did a lot of research.
Yeah.
I extended an invitation immediately because she wanted to be, she's young, she has an online retail business, and she wanted to be part of this event, and you know, she was inspired by all these people.
Wow.
So I thought that on our social media platforms, we've found that a number of young people have been following us, and we hope therefore to have an e-book in the fullness of time. We have a young team who are looking after our PR and social media stuff. And interestingly, they are of Sri Lankan origin who've come back to Sri Lanka, leaving the comfort zones of their jobs and careers in Australia, for example, and they've come back here. That's because they too have faith in this country.
That's right.
And they are comfortable. So Sri Lanka is open for business, and it's open for happiness.
Definitely. No better time to be a Sri Lankan than right now, isn't it?
Absolutely.
What a way to inspire.
So what was the launch like? Now, I mean, this was 1.5 years of effort and hard work that you put in yourself. So what was the feeling when the launch came up?
It was hectic because it was a Friday, and my editor reminded me that I had to do my work. So instead of going off and having a head massage or relaxing time, I was stuck there behind my laptop and doing the front page story for the paper.
Oh, wow.
So it was, but it was a good break. My colleagues at the paper rallied around.
I'm sure they were also very happy with.
Indeed, friends. The publisher was very helpful. Friends, some family friends from long time, extended very special help for the media, and the launch itself was fascinating. I did have some jitters about how many would come, but we have a group of people whom we refer to as the famous four in the book.
Okay.
And that's can I say?
Yeah, sure.
The famous four are Harry Jayawardena, Raj Jubesekara, Zaki Alif, and Sonia Weinman, Mrs. Sonia Weinman, who inherited her wealth from her father, who was the original partner with Mr. Jayawardena and the others.
Right.
I see.
So I coined them the famous four.
Oh, I see.
And the story of the famous four is in the book.
Okay.
And Mrs. Weinman is actually the richest woman in Sri Lanka, according to the rich list.
Oh, I see.
And
one thing I've noticed about the books, though, the one on the coffee table and the one in my hand, is this is gold, that's black, and I understand there's a different color as well for the richest person.
Yes, the richest person received his very own copy.
Right.
There's only one, and it's finished in red leather.
Ah, I see.
And this book that's here on the coffee table is finished in black leather.
In black leather.
Isn't it?
That's
a limited edition copy?
Yes, that's a limited edition. We hope, obviously, to do this every year.
Nice.
We intend doing it every year. And the database that surrounds this has been done by my good friend and the greatest fan this country will ever have, Dr. Mike O'Shea. and it's going to be available online on a pay-per-view basis,
Right.
which we are being encouraged to do.
Yes.
The amount of people who have given us support behind the scenes, wishing to remain anonymous, is and has been amazing. I hope that they will continue to give me the same kind of support that they did before.
Definitely. But you must have gone through some interesting experiences in the compilation of this entire book. So let's talk about some of the insider or sort of backstage stories that many people out there would not have heard about, and things that you experienced in the process.
Well, you know, most of it was to do with people who told me that I was ready to go to the asylum because I had no idea that they didn't have that kind of money. But confronted with the statistics, one by one, there was tacit agreement. It's the secrecy issue. Everybody is concerned. They want to keep it secret. But we need more accountability. We need more transparency to grow the economy. Most people actually ask for that kind of thing from elected officials, you know, to be accountable and transparent. But that's not just the preserve of elected officials. It's also the responsibility of normal people, you know, business people and so on, to be accountable and transparent. It's not one way, it's both ways.
Yes, definitely.
So that's what I found. A lot of people were just not willing to open up. We have a section there, we have a little note in there to say that this list is not comprehensive, and we know that there are others who are, who are probably richer.
Yeah.
We've asked for nominations to be sent to us anonymously, if you so wish. You can do it by dropping us an email.
Right.
By March 2014.
Brilliant.
So if you send us a thing.
If you do know of anyone who might be richer than the people mentioned in the book, then by all means, drop an email.
Yeah, I'm sure we've missed a lot of people. But, this is a start. It's not 100%, but it's a start. It's the first one of a kind in Sri Lanka.
Definitely.
Wow.
So, one of a kind book that's been published by Faraz Shokatali here in Sri Lanka, The Rich List 2013. Thank you so much, Faraz, for being with us on the show and for sharing so many insights about your
it's
book.
It's been such a pleasure. Like, you've inspired me right now to actually, you've inspired everyone in a different way.
Thank you.
Like
because
putting this all
wealth is
together.
something that should be celebrated.
Definitely.
And why not? When Sri Lankans are achieving so many things and reaching, ever greater heights. So thank you once again. We hope you have a great day
Thank you very much.
and a great year
too.
ahead.
Thank
If you want to find out more information about today's show, you can email us at mtvsports@mararaja.lk. Also visit our Facebook page on www.facebook.com/Good Morning Sri Lanka. We'll be right back after this commercial break.